I don't know who needs to hear this. Maybe it's just me, but I wanted to remind you that comparison is the thief of joy.
And comparison is the thief of joy. If you are going to constantly come on this app and compare yourself to other people, you are forever going to be miserable. You are always going to be asking yourself, why is that not happening to me? Why am I not getting that? Why can't I do this? But God has a plan for every single body. And if it is not your timing, it's just not your timing. Your reality is not everybody else's reality. And when you come to terms with that, I promise you, life will be so much better.
Hey Rich Babes, it's Robyn Milan and welcome back to the channel where we do it the rich way. We think rich, get rich, and stay rich. Now listen, we have all done it. You scroll, you see somebody doing what you want to do, living how you want to live, and that little voice in your head whispers, you're behind. But what if I told you that that's not ambitious talking? That's comparison. Because comparison doesn't push you forward. It actually pushes you out of your purpose. So today, let's talk about how to break free from comparison and start walking in our own lane again. All right? Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back shortly.
People are always talking about how comparison is a thief of joy, and you hear that, but like you don't even register sometimes that it applies to you heavily. So for me, like on my Instagram, I don't follow that many people. I just follow people that I know or like I interact with on like a daily basis. But there's this particular couple that I've been following for a while. They are in charge of this like major brand, but I was following them before they even started the brand, like way before. I even like had conversations with them before when I had my own brand back in the day, unrelated to what I'm doing now. But like as I watch them more and more, like I feel more like envious of what they're doing, because I feel like with the brands that I've had, I should be at the point that they are right now. All in all, every time like I see their posts like individually, because I follow them separately, I just feel like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing with my life? Like what am I doing? Like I should be doing more. I should be more successful. Like da 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 da. And it's just like clicking. I think today that like every time I see them post something, I feel bad. I feel bad because like I'm comparing where I'm at to where they're at, and they were already like eons like above where I was at like when I first started following them. But it's like I see them and I'm like, oh my gosh, like poor me, you know, like that whole mindset. But sometimes you don't catch it, like, and I'm kind of catching it now where it's like, oh shoot, every time I see their post, I don't feel good after time, like after I view it. So I am taking the initiative and I'm going to be blocking them. They didn't do anything wrong, but like just for my own mindset or headspace, I'm gonna have to start blocking people that after I see their post, if I don't genuinely feel good after viewing it, I need to let you go. Like, gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. But yeah, just a little moment of vulnerability on here. But yeah.
So comparison can kill everything and leave you feeling so defeated. Hear me out. Especially as women, I think that we get sometimes so caught up in comparing ourselves to other people, especially what we see on social media. Whether you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, like in my situation, sometimes I'll be scrolling, whether it's TikTok or any other social media apps, and I will see like, some women that are super successful doing something, and I'm like, well, she's successful, how come I'm not? And I'll start comparing. When that happens, you have to tell yourself to stop immediately. You find yourself mindlessly scrolling and comparing yourself to someone else, stop. It's damaging and it will leave you feeling defeated. You are who you are. Take ownership of that and own every aspect.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Let me tell you why that's my favorite quote of all time. If you understand this quote and you live by this quote, you can live your ultimate best life. Now, let me explain. If you do not compare yourself to others and what they have, you will be happy all the time. Let me tell you the reality of the situation. Someone will always be richer than you. There's always going to be someone prettier, better looking than you. There's always going to be someone that has something more than you, no matter how hard you try in life. So once you learn to appreciate what you have in front of you, better things will come to you. You have a negative mindset and you sit around all day and you're comparing yourself to other people and what they have or what more they have than you. You're never going to get ahead and you're never going to actually accomplish your goals. Stop wasting your time comparing yourself to everybody else and start learning how to do things for yourself. Daily reminder, because I do love living by this quote, and I think it's so important to understand that when you start comparing yourself to people, you're just going to get behind in life.
Y'all know that people show y'all what they want you to see on this internet, right? You know that this isn't like real life. You know that the influencers that you follow and it looks like everything is perfect and you want their life, you know that's not real. A lot of people's unhappiness comes from looking in on the next person's life and feeling like everyone around them is living so much better than they are. Everyone around them has it made so much more. Everyone is so much more happier. Everyone has so much more money. It's not real. Everyone shows you what they want you to see. You looking from the outside in, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I promise you it's not real. That person is not always happy. That person's home is not always full of joy. We are all dealing with different things, but no one's going to pick the camera up and show you their bad days. They're not going to do that. Stop comparing yourself and your life and what you got to somebody else's. And stop wishing for somebody else's life and for what somebody else has. You don't know what type of spirits they carry with them. You don't know what type of bad energy they deal with. They show you a 60-second clip of their day and now you think they got the perfect life.
It is so easy for us to compare ourselves to other people, our lives, the way other people live, and we do it unwillingly and unknowingly. And what that does is honestly degrade us, and we feel like we're not doing enough because we are constantly raising the bar when we see other people doing better than us. And I feel like something that has helped shift my mind and kind of allowed me to not compare myself to others is instead of saying, I wish I had that or I wish I had this, all I do is ask myself, what did they do to achieve the things that they did? And what work do I need to put in order to achieve these things as well? What habits do they have? Are they waking up early at 6 a.m.? Have they been going to the gym for years and years and years? Have they been promoting themselves consistently, posting content daily, maybe being a YouTuber and uploading every week? Instead of comparing yourself, figure out what work you need to do in order to accomplish the things that you want.
Hey, so I want you to know that at any point, you can change whatever you want about yourself. I was talking to a friend recently and she was feeling insecure because she has a cousin who has abs and the cousin also has babies. So my friend's just kind of like, well, damn, she has babies and abs and I don't have no babies, I don't have no abs. Like, what's up? I was just like, hey, your cousin prioritized having abs. Like, that's her focus right now. And I know with social media, we always see people who have things that we want, but look at it that way. Like, it's not that you can't have it. You're just not prioritizing it right now. And that's fine. Whatever you're pursuing, pursue that. And then when you're done with it, you know, move on to the next thing that you want to accomplish.
Don't ever look at anybody and think, wow, if only I could be like, you know, I found myself in a wheel of comparison for a long time in my life and looking at my life and thinking, God, like, other people had their dad in their life. Why couldn't I have mine? You know what I'm saying? Or looking at my life and saying, God, other people had this. Why didn't I have that? And just constantly finding myself saying, God, why me? Or God, why this? Or God, why not that? And it really is true what the Bible says about comparison being the thief of joy. Now, the word comparison in itself is an estimate or a consideration of two things that are and their similarities and their dissimilarities, meaning that you're taking two very different things and looking about what's the same, what's different, and analyzing the situation and trying to see what can you get out of it, okay? When the Bible says comparison being the thief of joy, when you say you want somebody else's stuff, you are quite literally robbing yourself of enjoying the things that God is giving you. For example, now that I come online and I speak about Jesus, right? I would really hate for anybody to ever look at the things that I post online and the things that I say online and say, wow, I wish I had a relationship with Christ like her. Because you do not understand what it took for me to get here. When I say that, I'm not saying it lightly. I'm telling you, you don't want to go through what I went through to get to where I'm at now. Now, I do think it's okay to look at people's lives and say, you know what? I'm inspired to do better. But I think there's error and mistakes made when we look at somebody's life and saying, wow, I wish I had X, Y, and Z. Because you do not know what is on the other side of somebody's obedience. You don't know. It's easy to look at somebody else's life and say, I want that, when you don't understand if you even have the capacity to hold up what that person is holding. Sometimes you look at people's lives online and you say, this person looks so happy. Do you know if they're really happy though? Because happiness is an emotion, it's fleeting, but true joy is long lasting. And when you have joy, whether you got money or not, whether you had a good day or not, whether you sick or well, whether everything's going good or bad, you have a constant feeling of, I know I'm going to be okay at the end of all of this.
Comparison is one of the easiest traps to fall into, especially now, like when we see highlight reels every single day. But comparison isn't motivation, it's self-doubt in disguise. Like when you start comparing yourself to someone else, you silently tell yourself that what you have isn't enough and who you are isn't working. The truth is, you don't see their sacrifices, their struggles, or their timeline. You just see the results. But destiny doesn't copy and paste. God didn't make you to blend in with someone else's blueprint. He made you to create your own. So if you've been looking at other people's success and wondering why yours hasn't come yet, breathe, girl. Like your path isn't delayed, it is divine, okay?
The next time you even try to compare yourself to somebody, remember, you don't know shit at all. You don't know a goddamn thing. You don't know what's going on here. Even if you know them, you don't know what they're dealing with here. You don't know what kind of problems they have. You don't know if they're walking in their house and getting slapped down to the floor. You don't know that. You see them with a lot of money. You don't know what they're doing for that. You don't know what they're sacrificing. You don't know what they have given for that. You see them with nice clothes. You don't know what they've done for that. They probably stole that shit. Not to say that you should just think that they're a thief, but you just don't know. You don't know. So you can't compare yourself to somebody. You know everything about you. You know. You know how you feel. You know how you look. You know why you got where you're at. You know. You cannot compare your situation to an unknown situation just based off what you see, babe. Okay? Perception is not reality. You come up with this whole fucking story about how blah 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 is blah 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 blah. You don't know what that person does when they go home. Okay? They might have a whole a room catered to the devil that you don't know. You do not know this, and based off of that much information, based off of you not knowing, you should be cool on that. You should be cool on that. You know what you're gonna do to get to what you trying to do, the space you're trying to be in, the places you're trying to be in. You know what you're gonna do, but you don't know what they have done. So you cannot compare your process to theirs. Okay? The next time you find yourself trying to compare, remember, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Act like the main character of your own life and stop comparing yourself to other women. A woman that never compares herself to other women or see other women as her competition has no competition. You act highly confident as if there is no competition. Your attitude and your confidence is what sets you apart. If you don't have any, you're always going to be comparing yourself to others.
Real talk, the grass is not always greener on the other side. I love the saying that the grass is green wherever I water it. Don't get caught in the rat race of comparing yourself. Really, you have to redefine your happiness, what your life is going to look like, and you kind of have to just shut it all off, like shut the life off, shut the world off, because you will be caught in this rat race of never thinking that what you have is good enough. Always thinking that your life has to live up to the expectations of others. And that right there is a funeral of your own life, because you now no longer are living your own life. You are living it for others' approval. Everyone does a very, very good job of making things look really, really good. And not to say some things are really as good as it seems. However, that is not always the case.
I just want to know, like, can we normalize everybody being, like, okay with where they are in life? Like, if you got a Hyundai, be proud of that Hyundai. If you got a Benz, pop it. Like, can we just be cool with what we got? Like, why everybody got to have the same shit or not be talked about because they ain't on this level? Or can everybody just be comfortable with what they got, please?
I think the hardest part about living in this generation is how we feel we always need to compare ourselves to other people on social media, knowing that social media is not real. I say it's not real because people only share the things that they want us to see. They don't share the tough time. They don't share they're going through a financial struggle, they're going through a breakup, they're having a tough time with their family, they lost a job. Nobody shares that. On social media, everything is perfect. They edit their bodies to make it look perfect. They edit their face to make it look perfect. And it's like, now that I'm coming to realize, it's like, what are we comparing ourselves to? God would have made multiple of the same person if he wanted us all to be alike. That's not what he ordained for us and what he wanted for our life. So it's like, you have to come to a point to where you just have to stop comparing yourself to other people and just realize that you are literally one of one. No one will ever look like you. No one will ever act like you. No one will ever be you. You have to realize and fall in love with who you are and all of who you are. God is not going to one day just wake up and give you that person's life. You never know what that person had to go through to get to where they are today. You, let alone, don't even know what that person's still having to go through to stay where they are today. Stop comparing yourself.
All right, my loves, let's get real. Comparison is so exhausting. Like, it keeps you chasing validation that was never meant to fill you. Every time you measure your own progress against someone else's, you interrupt your own magic, delay your own breakthroughs, and trying to match a timeline that was never assigned to you. Like, I remember a time when I used to scroll through social media and I just felt so behind, okay? Like, I look at people celebrating wins and think, oh, when is it gonna be my turn? Like, I could do that too. But what I didn't see were their losses, their crying, their loneliness, and their lessons, okay? And that's what comparison does. It shows you the picture, but not the price, okay? Think about the price, okay, when you look at these pictures. Like, here's the real truth though. The more that you compare, the less that you create. Okay, like, you stop showing up, and you stop showing up because you think that your version doesn't measure up. You hold back your light because you're afraid it's not bright enough. But the moment that you stop comparing and start connecting to your purpose, to your timing, to your glow up, girl. Listen, so here's what I want you to remember, all right? Your pace is not punishment. Delay isn't denial. Just because it's not happening now doesn't mean it's not being prepared for you. The next is gratitude, which we're going to have a whole nother video just for that. Gratitude is your antidote, girl. Like, every time you feel comparison creeping in, pause and thank God for what you already have. Gratitude resets your perspective. I'm telling you, it works every time. And lastly is, you can admire someone without envying them. Like, let their success inspire you, not intimidate you. If you can see it, it means it's possible for you too. Comparison blinds you to your own blessings, but peace gives you vision, girl. Okay, so if you've been scrolling and doubting and overthinking and undervaluing yourself, this is your sign, girl, to stop watching everyone else's story and start creating your own again. Your glow up doesn't have to look like everyone else's. It just has to feel like you. Because what's meant for you won't miss you. Can I say that again? Because what's meant for you won't miss you. What's delayed is only being redefined. Okay, and the day that you stop comparing yourself is the day that you start competing with your potential instead. So from now on, let's make a promise. All right, including myself. Like, let's make a promise. No more comparison, just alignment. No more doubts, just direction. No more envy. Oh my God, just evidence that your time is coming, okay? Listen, drop some comments underneath this video if you are really feeling this, okay? And just remember, Rich Babes, your lane was never meant to be crowded. So stay focused, stay graceful, and keep glowing in your timing. All right. So, my loves, I just want to let you know, make sure that you are on the email list. All right. There's a lot happening in November for Black Friday, and I don't want you to miss it. All right. It's like 80 something days left until 2026. So if you're struggling with sales, okay, and need help in creating your digital product, the links are already in the description box below. Listen, I've already been helping Rich Babes get their first sale using sales psychology hacks. And this season, I'm showing you exactly how to turn your digital ideas into income. All right, my loves, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Until next time, Rich Babes, stay rich. Love you.